So in a nutshell, the Brands in Motion study explores our premise that all brands are in motion, either driven by or inspired by technology. And within the study, we explore consumers' expectations of brands and sectors, and we also look at the emotional and the rational drivers for positive brand outcomes. And then what we do with the data is we work with clients to make sure that they understand where they sit in relation to the rest of their sector, and we can also work with them to look at which of the emotional and rational levers we can pull to help them pull apart from their competitive set. I think many marketeers and comms people don't truly understand the younger audiences that are coming through, and still think of millennials as a sort of homogenous group of people that we don't really understand. Whereas the reality is that millennials are now becoming the key target of many health campaigns, which is the gatekeeper of family health, women in their 30s.
I think that we're demonstrating with Bodyform that the biggest opportunity is to understand your consumer. That's an age-old truth, and the brand that has the best insights is the brand that develops the best campaigns, the best product innovation, the best communication innovation, and is best placed then for success. You know, we could talk about many things in the area of kind of women in society, but as a brand we've decided that for the moment at least, that the area that we have a right to talk about, to engage, to instigate debate is around this area of period positivity, of ensuring that periods are something that are talked about in mainstream culture, that they're not something that people are embarrassed to talk about, that people feel ashamed of. And that relevance and that realness, that authenticity, I think is really at the heart of the campaign and why the brand has been so successful.
So consumers want innovation, but there is also this innovation fatigue. And that fatigue is driven by brands trying to tell an innovation story which isn't genuine, or brands failing to explain the so what factor to audiences. What does this innovation actually deliver in terms of a benefit to audiences? So our advice would be to make sure that you really humanise the innovation and ensure that the end user benefit is very clear, and tell the story in as simplest terms as possible.
You can innovate through comms, you can innovate through products, you can innovate in how you go to market, and all of those things are really relevant and should be interrogated and explored. It's an interesting one, isn't it? Even how we describe it as taking risks now, when we look at or kind of categorise the kind of, whether it was the blood normal campaign from Bodyform or the or Red Fit or any of the other iterations. But actually, I wonder whether we even had a choice, because kind of doing the same, was that really an option? I think what I always passionately believe in, and that belief is definitely shared across the broader team, is that this is an area that people are interested in. So if you've got something to say, well, in fact, it's not even that we had something to say, it's that consumers were saying there's a topic out here that brands aren't talking about. You're depicting women on roller skates and you're showing blue liquid, and that's not our reality.
In the UK, the health and wellness sector sits within the mover quadrant of our motion matrix, and what that means is that we're seeing audiences have a really strong emotional and rational engagement to this sector. When you look in the data and you dig a little deeper and look at the generational breakdown, that positivity is being driven by generation Y and Z. So marketers really ignore that generation at their peril. I
mean, and certainly in terms of how the campaign and how that looks and feels, and there's certain elements of the execution that you would say are risk-taking, particularly if you think about how advertising has evolved in this category and how kind of some of the industries have challenged this whole area. But the insight about talking about periods in a truthful and authentic way, I don't know that I would categorise it as risk-taking. It shouldn't be, should it? Having that clear vision by engaging people on the insights, taking them on the journey with you, we just created this fantastic internal momentum that is allowing us to continue to challenge the market, the industry, but also ourselves internally. People kind of internally are kind of what's next from the Bodyform and the feminine team, which is fantastic.